Welcome back to another episode of the Educational AD Podcast. We're going to get to team building tips with John Sgromolo, but first let's hear from a couple of our sponsors. We want to thank Violet Defense for sponsoring the Educational AD Podcast. And Violet Defense is dedicated to protecting our world from germs by bringing the power of UV disinfection to everyday spaces. Their patented technology enables them to harness the power of the sun to incorporate ultraviolet light into products and environments like never before. Whether you're ready to implement existing products, or if you'd like to explore researching and developing a custom deployment of their technology for your school, Violet Defense has the solutions and experience you need. Go to www.violetdefense.com for more information. We also want to thank Sideline Interactive. You know, it's becoming harder and harder to fund an athletic department, but Sideline Interactive's indoor scoring tables and video boards can generate $10,000 or more every year while creating excitement in the gym and the ultimate game day experience for your athletes. Go to sidelineinteractive.com or call 832-786-0302 to schedule a live web demo to see their tables and boards in action and find out what these fantastic products can do for you. You can also email them at sales@sidelineinteractive.com. That's sales@sidelineinteractive.com. We also want to thank Wall of Fame by Vital Signs. Wall of Fame by Vital Signs is on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. They provide a variety of interactive touchscreen options, along with an extensive library of templates to make it easier than ever to recognize the athletic achievements of your students, both past and present. For more ideas on how to showcase your school's diverse history, along with your proudest moments, visit vitalsignswalloffame.com or learn more and get started with your own digital Wall of Fame tribute. Call them at 614-981-3589 or email them at sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com. You won't be disappointed. We also want to thank Huddle. Huddle, we power sports. More than 180,000 teams, including the best in the world, use Huddle to elevate their performance with video and analytics. They've got a complete package of online tools, mobile and desktop apps, smart cameras, including the Huddle Focus, analytics, of course, and much, much more. Huddle's built for every level, from youth through high school and college, all the way up to the professional ranks. You're in pretty good company. There's over 6 million users, including your students, probably their parents, and definitely the colleges and universities that you're trying to get your kids recruited to. Okay. Kids are watching Huddle, over 1 billion views and counting. You want to learn more? Go to huddle.com and find out how your school can become a Huddle school. We also want to thank Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack for sponsoring the Athletic Director Toolbox segment of the podcast. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack are a quick, easy, and affordable way for you to collect comprehensive data that allows you to evaluate and improve your athletic program. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack also allows you to give the 95% of the players and parents who really love your program a voice, and it helps demonstrate the importance that a positive athletic experience has for them. Go to athleticsurveys.com and check out their testimonials, and then call them at 1-800-738-6466, or you can email them at info@athleticsurveys.com to get started. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack. Let them help you take your athletic program from good to great. We also want to thank Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. You can learn more at hometownticketing.com. Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing. Welcome back, everyone, to Team Building Tips, episode number 5 with our good friend John Sgromolo out of Clay County, Florida. John, this is going to be the final session on the ABC. So if you could give us a quick, update, reminder for those who might be tuning in for the first time, some of the things you've been talking about, and then let's just jump right into team building tips.
Awesome, Jake. Well, thanks. I'm happy to be back. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure to tune in to episode 3 and episode 4. This is our final installment of the ABC series, Autonomy, Belongingness, and Competence, the 3 main factors of self-determination theory, which is what all of us as humans need to experience growth. And today we're going to talk about competence and how, as an athletic administrator, you can ensure that all of your coaches and student athletes are experiencing competence on a day-to-day basis. Jake, so I want to ask you, when is the last time you can remember, whether it was as a coach or a student athlete, accomplishing something big?
I'm going to tweak your question just a little bit. As an athletic director, our coaches and our kids really excelled a couple of years ago, and we got the FHSA all sports trophy for having the best athletic program in Florida. And that was certainly, I know, gratifying for me as an AD, but especially for our coaches, our kids, and our community. So I hope that's big.
Yeah, the Floyd Elay Cup. That's the biggest one you can win. And so to that point, that is a direct reflection of the standards that you implemented as the athletic director, right? So that doesn't happen simply because you have good athletes. There's a lot of things that have to go right for that to be the outcome. And some of the things that, so I guess my next question would be, as the athletic director, what were some of these standards? I mean, obviously winning was important, but there were probably some other things for you as an AD that were also important. What were some of those other things?
Well, I'm sure, like you, we've had a chance to talk about this a lot. Winning is never something that we put down as a goal. We feel that winning is that outcome when you do a lot of other things right. So, one of the mantras that, I would share with our coaches that they really embraced was, you got to be a teacher. You're going to teach skills, you're going to teach dedication, you're going to teach hard work, you're going to encourage. And when you do all of those things, good things happen. You give yourself a chance to win. So again, it sounds cliche, but it really isn't. We really didn't talk about, well, we want to win. We were going to do the things that winners do to give ourselves a chance to win.
Right. And through those expectations of teaching and leadership, you're giving your coaches the ability to have competence, right? So today the word C is competence, and competence would be defined as having the aptitude and the retention to complete a task, right? So for you as the athletic administrator, you have to help your coaches set goals and then support them through the attainment and achievement of those goals, and that gives them competence, which ties it back into that growth piece. And one of the questions becomes is, as an AD, how do you give your coaches the feeling of competence? Are they constantly spinning their wheels? Is their program stagnant? Are they being challenged? As the athletic director, you have the ability to, one, set goals for them, hopefully in a collaborative setting where they have input, going back to the autonomy piece we talked about, and then two, the belongingness of the entire athletic department. So are you not only doing this for your best coach, but also your worst coach? I think more athletic directors give goals to their worst coaches and tend to forget about their best coaches. In the classroom, I can tell you that, being a classroom teacher before I became an athletic administrator, one of the biggest frustrations that I would hear on campus from our stud teachers is that they felt that the administrators didn't care about them, right? And what happens? Administrators get busy. They know that those teachers do a great job, so they never stop by. But what the administrator, and tying this into athletics, what the administrator doesn't realize is those teachers aren't challenged. So just because they're good doesn't mean that they don't have room for growth. And as an athletic administrator, we need to challenge even our best coaches for brighter and better things, so they can also have that feeling of competence. Another thing is do you, in your athletic department, do you share the best practices of your best programs? Some of the worst functioning athletic departments live in silos. The football coach only cares about football and only talks to the football coaches. They don't know who the tennis coach is. They don't know who the swimming coach is. Maybe the girls golf coach might be the best coach on campus, but because of the egos in the room, they don't talk about girls golf. So this is where, in that example, if the girls golf coach is the best coach, have the girls golf coach present to the other coaches what they're doing at their practices, what their model of leadership is. And that would then in turn give that golf coach the confidence that they're doing a good job, that kind of public recognition. And then finally, I would say, let's get a little shout out here and we'll get right back to it.
I'm glad you mentioned that. One of the best things that I came across, and again, it was all accidental, is we had a little coaching module from Human Kinetics that had some pre-programmed stuff that we allowed our head coaches voluntarily to present in monthly coaches meetings, and they could tweak and add some things of their own. But we really got some tremendous discussions out of those sharing opportunities. So we're with John Sgromolo, team building tips. We're going to be back, but we couldn't do this without the incredible support of our sponsors. So let's thank our sponsors, and then we'll be back with more from John Sgromolo. We want to thank Huddle for their support of the Educational AD podcast. Huddle powers sports. More than 180,000 teams, including the best in the world, use their technology along with their analytics to help their teams and coaches do a better job. They're a complete platform with online tools, desktop apps, smart cameras, including the Huddle Focus. We have one at our school. Analytics, of course, and much, much more. Okay. Huddle's built for every level of play, from the youth through high school and college and up into the professional ranks. Over 6 million users currently on the Huddle platform. To find out more, go to their website and you can become a member of the Huddle team. 1 billion highlight views, including your students, probably your parents, and definitely the coaches of the universities and college teams that you're trying to get your kids recruited to. Become a Huddle school. Go to huddle.com to find out more. We also want to thank Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack for sponsoring the Athletic Director's Toolbox segment of the podcast. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack are a quick, easy way for you to collect comprehensive data that allows you to evaluate your athletic program. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack also gives the 95% of the players and parents who really love your program a voice, and helps demonstrate the importance that a positive athletic experience has for them. Go to athleticsurveys.com and check out their testimonials, and then give them a call at 1-800-738-6466, or you can email them at info@athleticsurveys.com to get started. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack. Let them help you take your athletic program from good to great. We're back with team building tips from John Sgromolo. John, what do you have for us?
So, we've talked about how important competence is and being able to facilitate that feeling of competence within your coaching staff. The final things I'd like to talk about is first is, what is the standard of excellence in your athletic department? It's very important from day one, just like teaching in the classroom when you're teaching your students, to set expectations. And as the athletic director, when you set high expectations early, that's going to almost create what I would call quasi goals. Just by having a certain level of expectation, there's going to be certain actions that you have to have to meet those expectations. For example, one of the things that I prided myself in at Ridgeview High School was we wanted to compete every single year for the state sportsmanship award. To do that, we cannot get ejected. As coaches, our student athletes cannot get ejected. And that was the culture that we created. I would like to share this at Oak Leaf High School, one of my schools now that I work with. Their AD, Marcus Miller, and principal Matt Boyack came up with a fantastic idea. They have a clock that sits in their main atrium where all their students walk by. And it is a clock, like a ticker that's counting up. And it says days since our last ejection. So if someone were to get ejected, the clock resets. So it's kind of a measuring stick of, hey, I don't want to be the person that resets the clock, but it's setting the high standard of sportsmanship. And that gives their athletes, the competence of doing the right thing. So I like to finish with our challenge here. I like to finish every episode with a challenge. And the challenge for you as an athletic administrator with competence is I challenge you to create goals for your coaches that are challenging but attainable. I think sometimes if goals are set too low, there's not going to be any level of competence achieved. And if they're set too high, some people won't even try. So really gauging the coach and gauging what their needs are and matching those goals to that, it's only going to help with their growth and your relationship with that coach. So to close out the ABC series, remember, we got to find ways as athletic administrators to give our followers autonomy, belongingness, and competence. And through those three factors, you're going to see a lot of growth and a lot of success in your department.
Once again, great stuff. I love the countdown, or I guess the count up timer. Something that we did, I'm just going to go ahead and share. With that sportsmanship award, if you're the state champion, that's a $3,000 check that goes to your school. We would share that with our student athletes, our varsity teams each year. And, when that kid gets ejected, there's a sportsmanship report that gets filed. Well, much rarer than that, there's a good sportsmanship report that officials or administrators can submit. And we actually got one of those a couple of years ago for our boys soccer team. And we tell our teams, if you get one of those, you're going to get that $3,000 check if we win. So it gives them, a little more incentive to hopefully do the right thing. But great stuff. John, if one of our listeners wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way that they can do that?
Well, I'm very active on Twitter. You can follow me at Coach Sgromolo, Sgromolo. And then also feel free to reach out, email, phone call. My email is john.sgromolo@myoneclay.net, or you can give me a call down here in Florida, beautiful south of Jacksonville. It's 904-336-6946. And hopefully everybody's taking away a little something with every episode.
Oh, absolutely. Every single Thursday, team building tips with John Sgromolo. John, thanks so much for our listeners. Remember, the Zoom recordings are being uploaded to our YouTube channel. We appreciate you tuning in today. Come back again next week for another episode of Team Building Tips. And please continue to listen to the Educational AD podcast. Thanks a lot. It's becoming harder and harder to fund an athletic department, but Sideline Interactive's indoor scoring tables and video boards can generate $10,000 or more every year, while also creating excitement in the gym and the ultimate game day experience for your athletes. Go to sidelineinteractive.com or call 832-786-0302 to schedule a live web demo and see their tables and boards in action and find out just what these fantastic products can do for you. You can also email them at sales@sidelineinteractive.com. That's sales@sidelineinteractive.com. Wall of Fame by Vital Signs has a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. They provide a variety of interactive touchscreen options, along with an extensive library of templates to make it easier than ever to recognize the athletic achievements of your students, both past and present. For ideas on how to showcase your school's diverse history and your proudest moments, visit vitalsignswalloffame.com or learn more and get started on your own digital Wall of Fame tribute. Call them at 614-981-3589, or you can email them at sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com. That's sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to thank Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. Learn more at hometownticketing.com. Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing.